SummerSlam is 11 days away, and before we go into SummerSlam, I just want to talk about something. I think I talked about it before, but just in case I didn't, uh, with the recent brand split, the draft, everything, each show will get a new pay-per-view or pay-per-views every month or something like that, except for the big four maybe, like Survivor Series, SummerSlam, which were on, Mania, and the Rumble. They might have their own separate pay-per-views. For example, most recently, SmackDown gets the first one, and it's Backlash at 9/11. Yes, that 9/11. And personally, the words 9/11 and Backlash just in the same sentence are kind of weird to me. Hopefully, they'll change it the week after or the week before or something like that. But, they don't have a tag title, they don't have a women's title. They might as well debut them at that one. So it means something. But on to the matches here. First off, we have the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz defends against Apollo Crews, or Apollo Creed, however you want to talk about it, because I remember Daniel Bryan calling him Apollo Creed, which I don't actually know if the person that played Apollo Creed is still alive or not. That would have been a hell of a way to come back to the limelight for sure. I don't know if he is or not, but that would have been something. Nonetheless, Apollo Crews won a triple threat match against Kalisto and Baron Corbin, which we saw on last night's SmackDown. Corbin beating the shit out of Kalisto last night because he lost the match because of Kalisto, so they have a feud going. With that being said, though, it's very simple here. As much as The Miz could hold on to it and have a never-ending tour of how great he is as champion, he's probably held it for like 130, 140 days. He's going to remind us anyway how long it's been. But regardless, it's a great reign for a title at this rate, by the way. But I feel like Apollo Crews will win the match. It's very simple. Just have him a new champion. They can have a rematch at Backlash or whatever. Next up, we have Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the team of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Now, if you don't count the USA versus the World thing, this might be the first time that Jericho and Owens have tagged together, which might be wrong, might be right, I'm not sure. But with that being said, I mean, it's very obvious what could happen here. Enzo and Cass could win, or what probably should happen is Jericho and Owens win, which they each haven't had good wins on pay-per-view in a while. They haven't had a win on a major show in a while. The last one I can remember is Jericho winning at WrestleMania, which I was at, which was a great match with AJ Styles, by the way. It was incredible. But since then, they haven't really won big matches in a while. The most recent one, Owens losing to Sami Zayn, Jericho losing to whoever. So they need a win. So I wouldn't be surprised if Enzo and Cass won. But it would make sense here for Jericho and Owens to win a match and just remain strong, and especially with this new partnership. Next up, speaking of tag matches, we have the tag titles. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defend against Gallows and Anderson. And unfortunately, Big E will not be a part of this match because he has suffered what has been diagnosed as ring postitis, a very serious condition, a very serious injury that required surgery to his nether regions, rather. And I was going to make a Bootios joke, but it wouldn't have made sense. But at that point, Big E is not able to compete. We don't know the extent of the injury, but we can all have that feeling, and we all know what it feels like. Have you ever been kicked in the nuts? You know what that feels like. Try amplifying that by being shoved into the ring post. By just having your dick shoved into there is just not good. It's not good at all. And it's not PG either. Regardless, it makes sense that the longest reign in a long time of any tag title in a long time, they might not be beating Demolition's record, but at the end of the day, it's what's right for business at this point. You have Gallows and Anderson win, and then Big E can go back, and they can have a revenge storyline at the next pay-per-view. Probably not 9/11 Backlash, but whatever they have for Raw, whatever works. Next up, the Women's Championship. Sasha Banks defends against Charlotte, and Dana Brooke is banned at ringside. Dana Brooke at this point. She might as well be Dana Brooke. Anyway, Dana Brooke lost to Sasha Banks on Raw, meaning it will not be a handicap match, but it will be a one-on-one match with Dana Brooke being banned from ringside. Now, obviously, Sasha just won the belt on Raw, so it makes sense for her to retain it, especially with Charlotte not having Dana Brooke at ringside. That's very simple there. And then this fucking match happens. This fucking match. Rusev defends the United States Championship against Roman Reigns. And we all know what's going to happen here. As much as I hate it, as much as I don't like it, it's probably what is going to happen. The only thing I can say about it is it's not the world title. Thank God it's not the world title, because he got suspended for fucking Adderall. Which I don't know if he's legitimately needing to use it. Because for those who don't know, Adderall is for people that have ADHD, people on the autism spectrum, stuff like that. So if Roman really does have a problem, that's one thing. Especially if he didn't have a TUE issued, so he didn't get popped for that. But if he's not using it for that, if he's just using it for the hell of it, it's the disgrace that a druggie might be the United States champion at SummerSlam. And that is exactly what's going to happen. As much as I would love to have Rusev retain the title, the fact is he just got married to Lana, which means he's a lucky son of a bitch. But at the same time, we don't know if they have had their honeymoon or not. And if that's the case, you can't have the U.S. title gone for too long. So you're going to have Roman win it, which is unfortunate. But, after the honeymoon, he can win it back, and they can have something at the next pay-per-view or something. Who knows? And finally, John Cena versus AJ Styles in probably the match of the night, maybe. If anything, maybe besides the Universal title and the World title and Brock versus Orton, this might be the match of the night. And we all know what's going to happen here. Again, much like the Roman situation, we know what's going to happen. Because much like Cena's feud with Kevin Owens, with Rusev, with... who else did this happen to? It's going to happen to AJ Styles, but someone else was on there as well. I don't remember exactly. But basically, the opponent wins the first one, and Cena wins the next two. So what's going to happen here, as much as I hate that, is Cena's going to win, as obviously as possible. But if you want to make AJ Styles a top-tier guy, especially now he's on SmackDown as a top star, you have him win against John Cena, and then you could have Ambrose versus AJ at the next show at 9/11 Backlash or something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's probably what's going to happen. Now, with that being said, if anything else happens, SummerSlam is 11 days away, so anything can happen. We could have pre-show matches at this point. I don't know. We'll see what happens from here.